The world of music gathered in deep sorrow to say goodbye to Oliver Tree following the tragic helicopter collision that claimed his life during his world tour in Brazil. The American singer, songwriter, producer, and creative visionary passed away on June 14, 2026, at the age of 32 after two helicopters collided over Rio de Janeiro, an accident that shocked fans across the globe and instantly became one of the most heartbreaking stories in the entertainment industry. In the days that followed, tributes poured in from fellow musicians, celebrities, and millions of fans who had admired his fearless creativity and completely unique personality. After his family brought his body back to California, a public funeral service was organized so that relatives, close friends, fellow artists, industry executives, and thousands of devoted fans could come together to celebrate a life that ended far too soon but left an unforgettable mark on modern music. The emotional ceremony became far more than a farewell. It became a celebration of an artist who never stopped encouraging people to embrace their individuality and never be afraid of standing out from the crowd. The atmosphere outside the venue reflected just how deeply Oliver Tree had connected with people around the world. Long before the service officially began, fans carrying flowers, handwritten letters, candles, and photographs lined the streets, hoping to pay one final tribute to the musician whose songs had helped them through difficult moments in their own lives. Inside the venue, elegant white floral arrangements surrounded the casket, while giant screens displayed memorable photographs from every stage of Oliver's life, beginning with his childhood in California and continuing through his rise to international fame. Family members welcomed those in attendance with heartfelt words of gratitude, thanking everyone for the overwhelming love and support they had received since the tragic accident. They explained that although losing Oliver had created an enormous emptiness in their lives, seeing thousands of people gather to honor him reminded them that his kindness, imagination, and music had reached far beyond the people who knew him personally. As family members reflected on Oliver's journey, they reminded everyone that his story had always been driven by creativity rather than convention. Born Oliver Tree Nickel, he displayed an interest in music from an early age and quickly developed a passion for experimenting with different instruments, sounds, and artistic styles. Even before achieving commercial success, those closest to him recognized that he viewed creativity differently from most people. He never wanted to follow trends or imitate other artists. Instead, he constantly searched for original ideas that would surprise audiences and challenge traditional expectations of what modern music could become. That commitment to originality eventually transformed Oliver into one of the most recognizable artists of his generation. Rather than limiting himself to one musical genre, he combined elements of alternative rock, electronic music, hip-hop, indie pop, and comedy to create a sound that immediately stood apart from everything else on the charts. Songs such as Alien Boy, Hurt, Life Goes On, and Miss You introduced millions of listeners to an artist whose music balanced emotional honesty with unforgettable melodies and imaginative production. Every release demonstrated his willingness to take creative risks, and that fearlessness earned him an audience that stretched across continents and generations. During the funeral service, several close friends spoke about the man behind the public image. While many people knew Oliver for his colorful outfits, oversized sunglasses, bowl haircut, and humorous videos, those closest to him described someone who spent countless hours perfecting every creative project. They explained that every music video, every concert, every costume, and every social media post reflected careful planning and genuine artistic passion. Oliver understood how to entertain audiences, but he also believed that meaningful creativity should encourage people to think differently about themselves and the world around them. One of the most emotional moments of the ceremony came when several of Oliver's closest collaborators reflected on the countless hours they had spent together inside recording studios. They remembered an artist who refused to settle for ordinary ideas and who constantly encouraged everyone around him to push beyond their own creative limits. According to those who worked alongside him, Oliver approached every recording session with enthusiasm, curiosity, and an infectious energy that motivated everyone in the room. Even after achieving international fame, he remained eager to learn, experiment, and discover completely new ways of expressing himself through music. Family members also spoke about the side of Oliver that fans rarely had the opportunity to see. Away from the cameras and concert stages, they described a son, brother, and friend whose greatest happiness came from spending time with loved ones. Despite maintaining an incredibly busy touring schedule, he always made an effort to stay connected with his family, regularly checking in with relatives and making sure the people closest to him knew how much they meant to him. His loved ones explained that while the public celebrated Oliver's creativity, they would always remember his generosity, compassion, and remarkable ability to make people laugh even during life's most difficult moments. Another touching part of the service focused on Oliver's desire to help future generations of artists. Before his passing, he had made plans for a charitable foundation dedicated to supporting emerging musicians and creative individuals who lacked financial opportunities. His family revealed that establishing this organization had been one of Oliver's final wishes, because he believed that every talented young artist deserved a chance to pursue their dreams regardless of their background or circumstances. Those in attendance described this final act of generosity as a perfect reflection of the person Oliver had always been, someone who believed creativity should be shared rather than guarded. Throughout the service, musical performances celebrated Oliver's remarkable career, while allowing mourners to remember the joy his work had brought into their lives. Many attendees quietly sang along to some of his best-known songs, creating an atmosphere that balanced sadness with gratitude. Rather than becoming overwhelmed entirely by grief, the ceremony repeatedly reminded everyone that Oliver's greatest wish had always been to make people smile, laugh, and embrace life with confidence. Following the funeral, tributes continued arriving from artists across the music industry. Fellow musicians praised Oliver's originality and acknowledged the enormous influence he had on modern alternative music. Several performers noted that, although his career lasted only a relatively short time, his willingness to challenge creative boundaries inspired countless artists to develop their own unique voices instead of following popular trends. Fans around the world echoed those sentiments, sharing stories about how Oliver's music had provided comfort during personal struggles, encouraged self-confidence, and reminded them that being different was something to celebrate rather than hide. Although Oliver Tree's life ended far earlier than anyone could have imagined, the remarkable body of work he created continues to inspire millions of people around the world. His music remains a reminder that authenticity, imagination, and courage will always leave a lasting impact, regardless of how long someone has to share those gifts. Every song he recorded, every performance he delivered, and every creative project he completed reflects an artist who refused to compromise his vision simply to meet expectations. As mourners left the funeral service, there was a shared understanding that Oliver Tree's influence would not end with his passing. His music will continue introducing new listeners to his extraordinary creativity. His charitable vision will help support future artists, and the memories he created will remain alive in the hearts of family, friends, collaborators, and fans for generations to come. Although the entertainment world has lost one of its most original voices, Oliver Tree's legacy of fearless creativity, genuine kindness, and unforgettable music will continue inspiring people long into the future, ensuring that his story will never truly come to an end.